99.1 FM.
Burby's 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Good evening and welcome to this evening's newscast right here on Kaieteur Radio. I am Kevin Smith. Let's get to the news in detail. President Irfan Ali has asked the Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Anil Nandlal to review the terms and conditions of existing civil works contracts. The head of state made this announcement today while he emphasized that such action was necessary to address poor performance, substandard work and delays in the timely completion of projects. President Ali noted that while efforts are being made to strengthen and build local capacity, quality and value for money will not be sacrificed. As such, he maintained that in every community where projects are executed, NDC should have a copy of the bill of quantities and scope of work. In addition, copies of those documents should be publicly displayed at a central location in the communities itself to enhance participation and oversight. Let's tell you now that over 100 witnesses are expected to testify against Region 4 returning officer Clement Mingo when the trial begins for the misconduct in public office charges. The accused, along with his lawyer Nigel Hughes, made their second appearance today in the Georgetown Magistrates Courts before the Chief Magistrate Anne McLennan. When the matter was called, Prosecutor Tariq Mohammed from the chambers of the Director of Public Prosecutions informed the court that the prosecution will be making partial disclosure of statements. Prosecutor Mohammed also made an application for summary disposal of the charges that would allow Mingo to plead to the charges since they would no longer be indictable. However, an objection was made by Hughes on the grounds of the possibility of more charges being made against his client. In other news, one day after Navigant Builders relinquished 30 acres of lands which were controversially transferred during the elections impasse by the coalition government, another developer has announced his intentions to also rescind. Today, Cardiology Services Inc. announced it had since 2017 reached out to NISL by way of an expression of interest to purchase various lands in Ogle for the purposes of building a hospital. The company's managing director is well known, cardiologist Dr. Mahendra Karpan. It disclosed that in February of 2020, an agreement of sale was signed. According to the company, given the circumstances surrounding the vesting of the property, it has agreed to rescind the vesting order without prejudice and revert title to the property that should be to NISL, so as to enable the government of Guyana to fulfill its mandate to ensure all lands are reclaimed unimpeded. In other news, China Harbour Engineering Company Limited, the Chinese contractor that is under pressure with the $150 million Temeri Airport, has denied abusing its duty-free concessions. The company would be under fire for the ongoing scandal at the Chedijagan International Airport, the expansion of which has been dragging on for almost a decade now. Guyana is getting almost a third of what was committed to by the Chinese contractor in what was a fixed price contract. The company was told in no uncertain terms by President Irfan Ali to correct the project as Guyana will not be accepting it as is. It was reported in 2015 that the company, which did work on the Movietown project and now the Pegasus expansion, was abusing its duty-free concessions privileges by using its equipment on the airport project on other construction sites. Staffers and others affiliated with the company had attested to this, and when the story was reported in 2015, the company never refuted it. Let's tell you now that former petroleum advisor to the government of Guyana, Dr. Jan Mangal, once said that the oil industry is highly corrupt at every level because of the billions of dollars involved. Oil companies tend to do whatever is necessary to maximize the profits to their shareholders, even if it means abusing the ignorance or lack of capacity of their host government. The Republic of Congo was rudely reminded of this a decade and a half ago when it contracted independent firms to audit the costs handed to the government by oil companies, ENI and Total, for a total of 9 permits. The firms produced 13 audit reports for 2004 and 2005, which showed that the companies had overstated their costs by $127 million. In the case of Guyana, ExxonMobil intends, along with its Stabroek Block partners, to recover billions of US dollars in costs from the development of several oil fields. Its capacity to audit is virtually nowhere, yet the country is rapidly approving projects. When it comes to the petroleum industry, several stakeholders have stated that they will be looking to see if the Irfan Ali government will demonstrate that it is capable of ensuring that a sound regulatory framework is in place. In fact, Dr. Terence Richard Blackman, a member of the Guyanese diaspora and an associate professor of mathematics, noted that the matter of robust regulation raises its head when one considers the approval the government is expected to provide for ExxonMobil's Payara field development plan. Blackman recalled that the Department of Energy has, for more than 7 months, been engaged in a review of the plan alongside UK firm Bayface Oil and Gas Consultants. Dr. Blackman reminded that the Ali government had decided to review the work already undertaken by Bayface. He went on to say that it is clear that a small team cannot adequately re-review the development plan for an undertaking such as Payara over a few months. And moving on, Commissioner of the Guyana Lands and Survey Commission, Trevor Benn, has come out defending his purchase of a 2016 Toyota Land Cruiser Prado for $2.5 million from his workplace 3 days before the March 2nd elections. According to the Commissioner yesterday, competent persons at the Commission calculated the depreciation costs, which brought the price down from an estimated purchase value of $25 million to $2.5 million. Ben insisted that the Commission paid $11 million for the 2015 SUV, which was registered in late 2016. He did not include the value of such a vehicle if taxes and duties were to be calculated, which could see final costs over $25 million. The Commissioner threatened a lawsuit and called for a retraction. In other news, according to the Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, Nigel Dharamlal, some $250 million from the Sustainable Livelihood and Entrepreneurial Development Program remains unaccounted for. Dharamlal indicated to the body that an investigation will be launched to probe all the spending conducted by the program under the APNUFC, as he added that many on the opposition side are going to be faced with prosecution. He even reminded the committee that executives of the former government benefited from the initiative, including the former Director of Sports and current Opposition Chief Whip Christopher Jones. The SLED program was set up in 2015 after the coalition took office. And that brings us to the end of this evening's news. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur